To support this podcast, go to positivesarcasm.com/donate. Any amount is appreciated. Once again, positivesarcasm.com/donate. Thank you and enjoy the program. Hello, Jay here, positivesarcasm.com, back from Baltimore, Maryland, here in the Spare Parts Studio near New Hampshire's beautiful seacoast. Like, subscribe, share, donate, positivesarcasm.com/donate. Is that dust? Positivesarcasm.com/donate. Any amounts appreciated. Go ahead and check out all my links in the affiliate descriptions below. Weeble app, Moo eToro. You got the Dr. Jordan B Peterson podcast. You got Mel Robbins podcast. You've got BetterHelp. You've got all kinds of links. Mental well-being, financial well-being. It's all down there in the description down below. You have any questions, concerns, comments, go ahead and hit me up my website, Positive Sarcasm. Damn, it's good to be back here at the Spare Parts Studio. I got a new desk. It cost me nothing. And I got no shame to it. I got no shame when I say it doesn't cost me anything to do a lot of things. I mean it. Like, this is a beautiful desk. It's got no imperfections on it whatsoever. I went from a one-drawer desk to a 4-drawer desk. It's got a beautiful, cherry type of finish to it. It's fabulous. I absolutely love it. You can't see it, obviously. It's a beautiful desk. Hopefully in the new version of the Spare Parts Studio in the coming years, this will be my primary go-to desk because I like it. It's comfy. It fits a lot of stuff. I can put my legs. I can put an ottoman underneath it. Toss my legs on the crate. Boom, just chilling out, relaxing. I love it. I'm so freaking happy with it. I'm going to get rid of that other desk that I had. I don't know, maybe I'll sell it on like Facebook Marketplace for like $20 or something like that. It's technically, actually, to be perfectly honest with you, the one I'm getting rid of, it's a vanity desk. Like, it literally, when you open the top, there's like a big mirror for chicks to, paint themselves and stuff. And I just used it as a regular desk. It was perfect. So, I mean, I went from a bistro table to a vanity desk to an actual writing desk. And it's awesome. And on top of this free desk lies a free laptop with my free cell phone, with my free lamps, and my free docking station, and my webcam, which cost me $3.99 at a thrift store, and my free tripod, sitting in my free chair with my free bookshelves, with my free books. And my free routers and modems. It's just free. I'm not ashamed to admit it. Like, this whole setup, free. The computer screen, free. The cabinet it sits on top of, free. So I'm not ashamed to admit you can build your own little Spare Parts Studio or your own little work area for nothing. And I was looking up the average grocery bill for one person nowadays, because people are complaining about, obviously there's inflationary factors that are causing all kinds of things. Like, gas is near $4 a gallon for those who are running 89 test. A lot of people have turbos in their cars now, so they have to run premium gas for some reason. Me, I'm just running straight mid-grade because I'm driving a V8 muscle car that, it runs better when you put a little cleaner gas in it. So they say. I'm sure there are others who could argue the point one way or another, but hey, I put mid-grade in it. It cost me almost $4 a gallon right now because inflation costs and the whole Middle East conflict and stuff like that. So whatever. That's what I pay. I said a long time ago that I would pay $5 a gallon. I'd pay $10 a gallon to drive my Mustang. I don't care. That car will never leave the road. I do not give a shit. But because overall, I know how to basically balance my budget out where everything else is free in my life, so I can, and I just look for these. I just look for this stuff, and it pays dividends for me. So seriously, like I'm literally, before we jump into Q&A, I wanted to go over grocery bills because this is also a financial wellness podcast. We talked about stocks and stuff like that before. Literally, you can start your portfolio with $100. You can start your portfolio with $100. Dividend stocks cost as little as $5 a share. So you can actually start where for about, I'd say about $6,000, you could be making $1,000 a year in dividends. That's like $80, like between $75 and $100 a month, and it just rolls over. You can get a drip program going where it just automatically reinvests the dividends back in the stocks. That's just $6,000. $6,000. That's amazing. And most people don't know that. And I can't imagine. It says, according to like some random AI software on the interwebs, that the U.S. Food and Drug Administration, no, not the U.S. Food and Drug Administration, it's the USDA. Excuse me. The average monthly bill, I went for a jog today. It was a jog. It was about 3 miles. So I'm doing a marathon a week, doing a freaking 5K a week. The average grocery bill for one person can range from $229 to $419, depending upon the food plan. Thrifty, low cost, moderate cost, or liberal. Another source suggests that the average monthly grocery bill for one person can range from $250 to $550. I did the calculations I just split it down the middle. $275 brings you out to $68.75. $68.75 per week on your grocery bill. If you are one person, $68 a week is still a little bit. And question is, what are you getting out of it? It doesn't state what you're actually getting if you're spending that amount. Like, are you buying a few things of chicken, some ramen noodles, some frozen vegetables, and maybe some, a little bit of fun food? I don't know. But that's your average bill depending upon what you eat. I eat a lot. So you're assuming that my grocery bill is probably between $750 and $1,000 a month. I got a newsflash for you. It ain't. Not even close. So I have the coolest, I finally rocked out this last weekend. So you guys, if you don't know me, I have an amazing knack for saving a shit ton in money when it comes to grocery shopping without using a single coupon. No coupons, none at all whatsoever. So let's see here. The average is for $275, $68.75 a week in grocery shopping. And I have evidence of it because this is a wellness podcast too. My total this week for 29 items was, and I'll show it to you on the screen, $50.66 for 29 items. That was probably like 5 to 7 bags of groceries. And it was all legitimate stuff. We're talking about 3 different types of proteins, many different types of fruits, many different types of vegetables, and really no junk. Matter of fact, the only junk I actually bought, the only thing I could have removed that was not needed on here maybe, was this Polar Cranberry Seltzer, which is $1.29. So 28 items would have cost me under $50. And look at all this. Look at the price on this. So frozen peas and carrots for Chase, cut corn for soups, two eggs, $3.79 a piece, $3.79 for. So I bought 24 eggs, organic eggs, chicken bouillon cubes because I'm a soup freak. I went to the produce department, 99 cents, 99 cents, 99 cents, 99 cents. Just actual healthy produce like apples, oranges, strawberries. Here's more reduced produce. They had strawberries for sale for 99 cents a package. I bought 6 packages. I almost bought 12 packages. So all those, so 99 cents, 99 cents. The chicken bouillon cubes, $1.49. So the most expensive thing on this entire receipt is these end cuts. These ends are actually, when you go to the grocery counter and you ask, I want a half a pound of roast beef or I want a half a pound of turkey, the ends don't get sold to the customer. What they do is they chop off the ends, they weigh them, they throw them in a package, like for example, Market Basket, or in this case, McKinnon's. Sorry, we're doing a nighttime podcast, so I'm going to yawn a bit. And it costs, they cut the ends off. They weigh them, they wrap them up, and then they reduce them down. And this was like fresh turkey, honey-baked turkey, Genoa salami, soup razad, which is generally very expensive. It's like a fattier version of Genoa salami. And I bought 2 packages of that and cost me maybe $6 for both packages totaling maybe 2 pounds worth of meat. So I made bank, and that was something I used to make like a charcuterie board, and then the next day a chicken, like a delicious like big sandwich. So there's that. More reduced produce. So here's one protein here, one protein here, 3 protein. So 1, 2, 3 versions of protein, and then of course 4 versions. So I bought 4 different versions of protein included in all this reduced produce. More reduced produce down here. This was all the strawberries, 6 packages of strawberries. So I had 3 different types of fruit: apples, oranges, strawberries, 4 different types of protein: chicken, turkey with salami end cuts, eggs, pork, all on there. And then of course, the fruit, and then of course frozen vegetables for Chase, because he's got to eat too. And then bouillon cubes, which are cheap to make soup. All of this, 29 product, with the exception of the polar cranberry seltzer, which quite frankly just threw that in there for the hell of it. That was only $1.29. This all cost. Oh, and I also bought a fresh salad for $1.99. Big old salad with eggs and tomatoes and cucumbers. Giant ass salad for $1.99. Coming out to $50.66. You're not looking hard enough. You're not trying hard enough in the grocery store, in my opinion. In my opinion, you're not doing what I'm doing. You're not. Whatever you're doing is clearly wrong. I was watching, what's this guy? Caleb Hammer on Instagram, and he is torching fools when they talk about their finances. There was one girl, she had a $10,000 car. She was upside down in it by like 12 grand. She took out like a giant ass loan on it, and then almost owed like over $30,000 on like a 29% interest rate on the damn thing. The car's worth like $8,500 now. I mean, she's screwed. She's screwed. Now, don't get me wrong. I've been in a financial hole before. I've had like $15,000 in credit card debt. I made that all disappear in 2 years with a debt consolidation program. All right. I've lived in Hampton Beach on a $37,000 a year payroll, paying $1,325 plus utilities. I have doubled my income in the past since 2021. I have doubled my income. I've reduced all of my monthly issues, like as far as paying out for revolving debts and stuff. My electric bill is still like $40 a month and under. I'm still paying under $40 a month for cable. The only thing that I think is too expensive is my damn phone bill at $57 a month. But I'm sure if I switch to Visible, Actually, I should double check to see if my old ass Google Pixel 2 will actually support Visible. Because if it will, I'll drop my cell phone plan right now from $57 a month down to like 30-something bucks a month and cut that shit in half. I even afford to go to a private fitness gym, which costs me like $350 every 45 days. Why? Because I invest in myself. Because I don't spend any money in healthcare. No premiums. No doctor's visits. No deductibles. No copays. Nothing. I spend $50 on groceries, so I don't have to spend $50 on a copay. And then I run 3 miles every single Monday. And I've been doing that since January. And then I go to this gym and I beat my ass up 4 times a week. And I do a double session on Saturdays. So I am crushing myself. And my cortisol levels have dropped to near 0. I have very, very little debt. I sold my winter car and I'm well on pace to get another one. I mean, one that's 6x nicer than the one I had, with half the miles than the one I sold it for. I'm going to be a fucking pimp. And I'm still putting money in the stock market. Not only am I putting money in the stock market, I'm putting money in the stock market every single week. I'm putting money aside for the car. I just opened up a second version of a retirement account. And what else? And I have 2 stock brokerage accounts open right now. I'm about to open up a third in October. I mean, it's It's wild. It's wild how much, if you were just, what everybody is complaining about. I have the lowest rent in the Seacoast area right now. And I'm in such a, and I'm still going out for dinner a little bit, booking hotels. I mean, I just went to Baltimore for like 3 days. I spent $11. All paid for and everything like that. I let everybody else feed me. Obviously, if somebody else is going to order surf and turf, I'm going to order surf and turf as well, because that's what I do. But I'm not ashamed to admit, like, people are ashamed that they spend money so cheaply. Why is everybody driving around in a Mercedes CLA class right now, or a BMW 3 Series? Why? Where the hell did you find the money to do that? And you obviously have some type of car payment on that. Are you out of your goddamn mind? Even if you're over $100,000 in your annual income, why? Why? Do you understand? You can buy a Corvette for $10,000. And I have to admit, I'll be perfectly honest with you, a Corvette is a pretty damn good commuter car. All right, it's very smooth on the highway, has a good suspension, gets great gas mileage. There's room for two. There's also some luggage space, so you could throw your suitcase in there for when you're going to work with your lunchbox. And it's sexy as shit. So what I understand there are some people that are out there that are truly struggling, that are truly screwed. I'm not one of them, and I'll be honest with you, I don't understand what other people are complaining about either. Now, and I've got a very respectable social life. I'm investing. I have plenty to invest in this little adventure of mine. I've got more adventures coming up. This life project of PS is doing great. I'm finally dropping another blog. I've got computers for days, and I've got this amazing canine who's with me every moment of every day. Life is good. My grocery bill is amazing. My health is awesome. I'm 40 years old. I run 3 miles every single Monday, and I'm in the gym 4 or 5 days a week. Sometimes I wonder, who's it? David Cameron, I think he said that. Don't worry about what everybody else is doing. Just focus on what you're doing. Remember, you don't need like when you go on like Facebook Marketplace or New Hampshire Craigslist or Autotrader.com and you look at all the cars for sale, just remember one thing. You don't need 1,000 cars. You see 1 million cars out there that are expensive. The average car is like between $20,000 and $30,000. You don't need that. Do you understand? You can find cars that get extremely high gas mileage, that are in excellent shape with really low miles for under 10 grand. Hell, for under 5 grand. Hell, for under 4 grand. $4,000 to get you from back and forth to work for like 30 something miles per gallon. That's clean and cheap to fix. So, sipping some delicious chai tea. Why are people spending so much money? You don't need 1,000 cars. When you're going on FB Marketplace and looking at cars, remember, you don't need 1,000 cars. You don't need 50 cars. You need 1 car. 1. Okay? If you're like me and you need a winter car because you drive a muscle car during the summer, you need 2 cars. But the average person needs 1. But you can afford 2 because cars are cheap. I'm not gonna lie. Look, that's the truth. Cars are cheap. Anybody tells you otherwise, they're lying. They're lying because they're purposely going out of their way to buy cars that don't serve the purpose that. I mean, they serve the same purpose. They just cost $15,000 to $20,000 more. Okay, you don't understand. You could take because it's got Apple CarPlay and a backup camera. Are you stupid? Do you not know how to make your rear view mirrors go down? Do you understand that you can also have a stereo installed in your car that has a backup camera built into it? You can have that stuff installed for like $700. So $4,000 on top of $700 for $4,700. You have Bluetooth, GPS, backup cameras, video capabilities, Apple CarPlay. You have all these things. You just choose to buy something more expensive because you're lazy. Because you're flat out lazy. Did I just kick the camera? Maybe I did. What about it? Because you're lazy, you're not going to get awesome grocery bills like this for $50.66. You're not. It's not going to happen. You will suffer because you're lazy. You will not get this amazing number because you're lazy. I don't have to buy groceries for this week. You understand that, right? I bought groceries Saturday, and I still had some groceries left. This is my refill week. I spent $50. Okay? I gave some of the fruit away. I don't have to buy groceries until next weekend. That's the thing, though. That's my luck. That's the awesome part about all this. I don't have to. $50. $50, and I'm probably going to still have some stuff left over. And it's going to be Tuesday tomorrow. And I've got chicken in the oven right now that's roasting slowly, delicious. I prefer to take it out, let it sit in the fridge uncovered so that it dries out faster, and then throw it back in the oven again tomorrow morning when I wake up for like a half hour. And it'll be super crunchy, crispy skin. All the fat will come out of it. I don't want too much fat in my bone-in meat because I don't know. I want to be able to rip that stuff right off the bone. To me, I just like how it tastes better. Fat's good for you. For darker meat, I want some of the fat pulled out of it. And this is one way it works. But I'm probably not going to have to touch groceries until next Saturday. And I'm in stellar shape. Matter of fact, this week I'm doing so well. I'm going to buy, I drive a muscle car. Every few years you got to change the tires. I'm buying new 2 front tires for the front. I'm buying rotors and pads all around. Going to cost me a few $100. No problem. I'm investing in a brand new tablet for me to do music, to do video editing on. A high performance one like an S7 Plus or an S8 Plus. I can afford it. I can afford to have two retirement accounts, 2 brokerage accounts, and other stuff coming up. And building up a cash reserve for another car. It's all there. It's all there. And money left over each week to buy groceries, get gas, buy those, those little protein peanut butter cups or the mint ones or the peanut clusters or those Quest birthday cake cookies, just to have them. And I eat great. I eat like 4 or 5 times a day. My weight is between 172 and 178 pounds. I feel good. And I don't know why so many idiots are emerging now on the Caleb Hammer show. I'm watching this guy grill these people who are insane amounts of debt. Obviously, they all went to college. Obviously, they're in a ton of college debt. And obviously, they have a giant car loan and they're not making ends meet. And nobody taught them how to make ends meet. They just thought everything was going to magically show up for them one day and they'd be making $125,000 and they'd have like a fucking condo in San Francisco. That's not reality. The reality is you're screwed. Okay? I'm not. I'm in good shape. And that's why my coffee mug has a middle finger on the bottom of it. So when I sip, because I win. That's what I do. My life isn't hard, it's challenging because I choose to challenge myself. I choose to to save money, to invest money, to drive things that are pretty damn durable, to have a respect. I mean, I understand these folks that are going on this show, that these narcissistic sociopaths, I understand them because I was one. But I didn't spinning out of control emotionally is one thing. Spinning out of control financially is another. Don't put the two together because you can dig yourself out of a hole if you recognize one of those things. But if you recognize neither, you're screwed. You also don't understand how much money I spend in supplements too. My supplement bill, I take, at night I got fish oil, like 4,000 milligrams of fish oil. 5,000 milligrams of vitamin C, 2,000 milligrams of N-acetylcysteine, which apparently you can't find in Maine right now. It's out of stock everywhere. What the hell is going on with that? Is the Food and Drug Administration trying to ban it again like they did in 2021? because apparently it, helps with certain symptoms from a certain thing that was made in a lab. So 2,000 milligrams of N-acetylcysteine, a couple hundred milligrams of potassium, 800 milligrams of magnesium glycinate. Dr. Rhonda Patrick recommends, I think, not oxide, but like citrate or glycinate. And then in the morning, I take NAC again. I take 10,000 milligrams of vitamin D. And then I take a lysine. And what else do I take? I take a full-blown multivitamin. I take all those things in the morning. So I have a constant vitamin bill. Doesn't break my bank at all. And then every once in a while, I'll grab some like CoQ10 or some quercetin or some mushroom complex or DHEA, and I'll throw that in there too. Because why not? Right now, I'm working on B2. I'm working on investing in possibly like seeing what B2 and niacinamide do for my body, and as far as for like my mental clarity. I want to get into like lion's mane and work on that. Also, my edibles, I cut that in half. I dropped it from like 10 milligrams to 5 milligrams. So that's $26 like every 10 days. But now it's 5 milligrams, so that gives me 20 days. And now there are days where I don't take them at all. I do enjoy it, but the 5 milligrams gives me a slight hangover. So I'm pulling those out of my diet for a couple days too, so I can, see how I sleep without it. And I do sleep well without it. But that's another amount of money where I'm not spending it because I'm balancing this all out. When you get into a snowball effect when you start making the right decisions. And the right decisions are anything that requires effort. And these people I see on like Caleb Hammer's podcast, it's just like, it just seems like everything for them is too damn hard, so they don't even try. Or they don't even really recognize what the challenging aspects of growing up are, so that you don't spend your money, spend the money that you don't have, or you don't get into crazy amounts of debt. They don't realize that. They were never taught that. So they're screwed. They could be a lost generation. I don't plan to be part of that. I plan to be somebody who is useful in almost every aspect of life and trying to answer questions that might help some individuals out there on the interwebs. That being said, I do want to talk. I do want to get into a few of them because we're already 26 minutes. This feels like an older model. This podcast where I complain for 30 minutes and then we get into Q&A. So we might as well start now. Let's get a few of those out of the way before we close up shop for this week, because I feel like these podcasts have been. By the way, I hope you enjoyed last week's podcast in Baltimore. That was kind of fun, just sitting there trying to figure out that damn laptop, which was giving me a nightmare there. Did I show you the picture? Yeah, if you go and check out last week's podcast, the cover of that podcast is a picture of the ship that is still there that blew up, that smashed that bridge to pieces. In my opinion, they should tear that bridge, that boat apart and use all the scrap metal to rebuild that bridge. That, in the meantime, let's get to this week's dig.com Q&A. Let's pop that up on the screen. Here we go. Take one more sip of water. If you want to support this podcast, go to positivesarcasm.com/donate. Any amount's appreciated. There's all kinds of other cool stuff you can look at while you're on that website. You can email me directly, positivesarcasm@outlook.com. Also, if you want to start your own investment accounts, Webull and Moomoo are my go-tos. Definitely check those two out. Links are in the description down below. Here we go. I work at how we doing? We recording? We better be recording. I work at a small nonprofit, and recently the employee with the longest institutional knowledge just left her position because of the years of abuse, micromanagement, and overwork she endured. Now the executive director is trying to set up an all-staff meeting with a spiritualist, quote, spiritualist, so she can figure out why there has been so much negative energy in the building. Setting aside the issue that she will find any way to avoid responsibility for her bad behavior, I feel deeply offended that I'm being required to attend a consultation and subsequent, quote, cleansing. I don't have a connection with this sort of spiritual practice, and it feels unethical to require staff attendance, but is it illegal? There's a separation of church and state, and there's legal ramifications for anybody who forces somebody to do something in an office, possibly such as this. I don't know if I don't believe that your boss can force you into a spiritual meeting. I don't think that's possible. There's it may be mandatory for sexual harassment training or something like that, but this ain't it. A spiritualist? Now, this seems like just a boss who doesn't want to accept that the the aura of the workplace, the toxicity of the workplace, is because of them. It's because of the higher ups, the stakeholders. They did this. So they're trying to figure out, hey, what's wrong with the spirituality of the employees we're hiring? It's not them. Or at least it's mostly not them. It's you, the boss. You suck. You suck, and you're the one who needs to change. You don't need to hire a spiritualist. That's only going to make people quit more often. I mean, I get it if this is just a bad employee complaining about the job, but you're hiring a spiritualist and you're forcing everybody to attend? That tells me right away who's at fault here. My advice, go look for another job. And quite frankly, seek legal counsel too. Let's move on to the next one. Would it be inappropriate or unreasonable to ask my boyfriend to pay back the $3,100 I lent him? Oh boy. Is it considered inappropriate or unreasonable if I request money back that my boyfriend borrowed? I know that there's a fine line between borrowing and giving, especially in a relationship. My boyfriend bought a car, but then faced a layoff due to low profits at his workplace. Over a period of 4 months, I covered his car expenses, $782 a month. Oh. Although I offered proactively when he was struggling, he was under the impression that it was a loan, since we did mention the word borrowing at that time. It has now been 6 months. I have yet to receive repayment. I feel hesitant about bringing up the topic with him. No, have a talk with him. Your boyfriend needs to pay you back. $3,100 is a lot of money. That's a lot of money. 4 months? He's got to pay you back, or he's got to start paying you back. Honestly, car expenses at $782 a month. If he's back on his feet and he's working right now, he needs to come up with a plan to start paying you back. Even if it's like $50 a week, $50 a month, something of boyfriend value for him to do. Anything. I know he's probably at the lowest of the low, and kudos to you for sticking with him while he was at the lowest of the low. Okay? Now is a chance for him to actually truly shine and better himself, but you have to be straightforward with him about this stuff. All right? I applaud you for sticking with the man who was at his lowest. My opinion, if you're with somebody and you leave them at their lowest, you don't deserve anyone at their highest. So, in this case, he has a chance to step up, but he has to step up. He has to start paying you back to some capacity, because that is a lot of money. $3,000 is a lot of money. He needs to pay you back. He needs to start that process. And he needs to start that process if he has a job now, right now. Well, let's do one more and we'll get out of here. Ooh, this one's long. I need advice on how to reconnect with my formerly estranged daughter. 2 of us fell out badly in 2016, which I could no longer bear watching her disastrous life choices play out. She could no longer stand hearing my views on those choices. I made a lot of bad choices myself when I was younger, resulting in me being a single mother with 2 jobs and debt. It was awful watching her throw away opportunities I'd work with like a dog for her to get. For example, she turned down a scholarship to study computer science to pursue an expensive digital art qualification instead. Then racked up debt moving away instead of staying home to study and save. Our biggest fallout came when she announced her engagement to, quote, Nick, a man with no job prospects and no ambition, who expressed that he would be content being a house husband and stay-at-home dad while daughter essentially fully supported him. When my daughter told me she was marrying this man with no degree, plenty of debt, I flat out told her I would not pay for the wedding and did not approve. Okay, well, you could say you support her, but you're not going to pay for the wedding. You don't have to pay for the wedding. She screamed at you, and we did not talk again until this year. We made contact over email to tell me she was pregnant and asked about reconnecting. Oh. I was excited about the idea and was cautiously happy about her pregnancy news since it seemed planned and she was not in dire financial straits. In the dire financial straits I had feared. When we met, however, things didn't go well. I was shocked when I saw her. She had put on weight, far more than pregnancy weight at this stage, got a bizarre and unflattering haircut, which I cannot believe her job allows, and was covered in tattoos. I said something about her looking very different, and she immediately snapped at me if I had nothing nice to say, I shouldn't say anything at all. I said I didn't appreciate her speaking to me as if I was a child. She stood up and left the cafe without touching her drink barely 2 minutes after we sat down. Now I'm left wondering if it is worth taking another shot at reconnecting at all, since apparently she will disappear at a hair trigger of tension. I want to send her an email asking about what happened, but I have no idea what to say. I suspect she will want a groveling apology. She has demanded these in the past, which I have no intention of writing. But I do wish to speak with her and obviously meet my grandchild at some point. Do I owe her an apology for the surprise reaction to her appearance? If I send an email, how do I strike the balance of placating tone, reaching out, and not over apologizing for something extremely minor? I miss her badly despite our difficulties. Well, look, she's of age now where she can get to choose her life path. Assuming that she's not coming to you, reestablishing, a relationship with you for money. If it's just a matter of you guys reaching out and talking it through, okay. She's obviously got some type of issue where she snaps at people who judge her really quickly, but I don't know what your relationship was like before she left. I don't know. If you just want her in your life, then I guess you're just going to have to accept the fact that this is who she is, and there's that. But I'll be honest with you. Let me think about this for a second. If you don't care, don't reach out. Just say, she's nuts. See you later, bye. Then don't bother. Don't reach out. If you want to reach out to her, yeah, you're going to be like, I'm sorry for how that situation went. I'm sorry. I didn't mean. I was just shocked when I saw you. Maybe we can talk further. I'd love to hear what's going on in your life. Please, let's just talk. I'll sit and listen and you just talk. But obviously something just upset her greatly. I don't know what it is. You said it was just she's acted like this in the past, but I feel like maybe you were overbearing or not. But she's there for 2 minutes and then leaves. It seems like something's missing. But obviously, if you do you want her in your life, so you'd start with like an apology. I'm sorry, I did not expect. You looked different. Why don't we just try sitting down again? Tell me about your child, so on and so forth, and what you plan on doing now, and I'll try to support you how I can. If it's just straight up her asking for money, then you can just tell her no. And if she snaps at you, then you know that you've been wasting your time, and you just need to kind of let her, struggle in life her own way. A lot of people need to you need to struggle in life. That allows you to work harder and appreciate when you achieve things. But go slow. And then that's it. Try not to offend. Just try to be supportive. But obviously, if it goes crazy and she just runs out of there and then demands an apology, I don't know. You could probably afford not to have that one around. I think. Yeah, that makes sense to me. We cruised along at 37 minutes. We'll go ahead and close up shop because I had a lot to say since being back from Baltimore. If you have questions, concerns, comments, you can go ahead and email me directly to my website, positivesarcasm.com, or you can email me directly, positivesarcasm@outlook.com. Like, subscribe, share, donate, positivesarcasm.com/donate. Any amounts appreciated. There's all kinds of stuff on the website. This is back on YouTube. It's currently also on Rumble. So the video versions of this podcast are there on both. And audio version, anywhere podcasts are available. Substack, iHeartRadio, TuneIn, Podcast Addict, Apple Play, and, of course, Substack. So, excuse me. In the meantime, thank you for listening, watching, and subscribing. If you have any questions, email me. But I'll talk to you all next week. Recorded here from Spare Parts Studio, located on New Hampshire's beautiful seacoast, for entertainment purposes only. This has been a Positive Sarcasm presentation.